Hey, welcome back to the Profit Driven channel, where we keep it simple, practical, and painfully real. Let me start with a quick question. Have you ever been in the meeting where you had a solid idea, but the room ignored you, and then someone else said the same thing 2 minutes later, and suddenly it was brilliant? Yeah, that wasn't bad luck. That was status. Most people don't struggle at work because they're not smart. They struggle because they don't understand the room, the hidden rules, the quiet power, the social games people play while smiling. And if you don't understand that system, you can work twice as hard and still get ranked low, overlooked, or used. So today, we're talking about status at work, the invisible ladder that decides who gets listened to, who gets promoted, who gets protected, who becomes the scapegoat, and who stays stuck doing all the work with none of the credit. And don't worry, this isn't about becoming toxic or manipulative. We're going to cover how to read people without paranoia, how to handle disrespect without losing your dignity, how influence really works behind the scenes, how manipulation happens and how to protect yourself, and how to build confidence and social power ethically. Yes, some parts will sound a little dark, but the goal is clarity and growth, not fear. Once you can see the ladder, you stop taking everything personally, and you start moving smarter. If you like content like this, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because this episode might genuinely change how you see your workplace and how you carry yourself in rooms that matter. All right, let's get into it. I'm Maya, your host, and to help us unpack this, I'm joined by Wyatt, a psychologist and expert in human behavior. Wyatt, welcome to the show. We're really glad you're here.
Thank you. Happy to be here and excited.
All right, let's get into it. Okay, quick question. Have you ever walked into a room, work, family, church, friend group, everything looks friendly, and then later you realize you got ignored, blamed, used, or quietly pushed out?
Yep. That's not random. That's hierarchy.
Oof. And today we're talking about the thing nobody admits exists, but everyone feels.
Status, the invisible ladder.
And we're not doing the toxic alpha nonsense. We're doing the real, human, practical stuff. How to read status fast and move wisely without becoming manipulative.
Exactly. You're learning the weather of the room so you don't walk into a storm in a t-shirt.
Okay, good. Let's go. Wyatt, why does status matter even when everyone pretends we're all equal here?
Okay, here's the blunt truth. Status quietly decides who gets heard, who gets helped, who gets protected, and who gets ignored. Even in warm groups where you can clearly see and think everyone is equal, status works like gravity. You don't see it, but you feel it pulling everything into a shape.
So it's not just ego.
No, it's a social survival system. Humans constantly scan who can affect outcomes, who is safe to follow, who is risky to challenge, who is protected. And the darker part is you can lose status without knowing the moment it happened. It's not always one big fight. It's often tiny events, like someone jokes at your expense and nobody corrects it. You speak and get ignored. Someone repeats your idea and gets praised. You're always the one doing the hard tasks, but never the one celebrated. That's not bad luck a lot of the time. That's ranking behavior.
Yikes, but motivating part?
The motivating part is that once you can see it, you stop blaming yourself for everything. You stop being confused, and you start making smarter moves, calmly, strategically, and ethically.
Define it simply. Like, what is status?
Status is basically social ranking based on perceived value and leverage, and it's built from 4 forces. 1, influence. Can you change what people do or decide? 2, respect. Do people take you seriously even when you're not there? 3, attention. Do people watch you, quote you, seek your opinion? 4, control. Do you control resources, info, access, approvals, money, opportunities? Put together, status is how much the group believes you matter to the group's outcomes.
So it's not your job title.
Exactly. A title is paper. Status is behavior.
This line you gave me earlier, status is observed, not declared. Explain that.
Yeah, you can't announce status and expect the group to accept it. I'm the leader doesn't work if nobody follows you. I deserve respect doesn't work if people interrupt you with no consequences. Groups act like a courtroom. They watch evidence. Do people make space for you? Do they protect you? Do your ideas become decisions? Can you set boundaries without being punished? Status is an outcome you can observe, and because it's observed, it can be changed by changing patterns.
Okay, that's powerful.
Today, you're going to learn how to walk into any room and spot who holds real power, who controls access and information, who is protected, how sets the acceptable behavior rules, and how to move depending on your situation. New, ignored, targeted, rising. This is not paranoia. This is social awareness.
Okay, yeah, let's go into the types. Dominance first. What is it?
Dominant status is power built on fear, pressure, control, intimidation. People comply because they don't want your anger, punishment, or disapproval. Dominance looks like interrupting a lot, public correction, sarcasm that stings, impatience, humiliation as jokes, or my way or the highway energy. And you'll often notice the room symptom. People comply quickly, but they look tense while doing it.
So it's fast power.
Yes, fear is a shortcut to obedience, but it's unstable long term because it creates resentment and secret resistance.
Okay, how about prestige?
Prestige is earned through competence, value, trust, admiration. People follow because they believe this person makes us better or safer. Prestige looks like calm clarity, consistent results, being the go-to person, mentorship, fairness, boundaries. Prestige is slower to build, but it lasts longer.
But prestige can trigger envy, right?
Especially from dominance-driven people, because prestige threatens control without fighting. Workplace. Dominance manager equals threats, shaming, micromanagement. Prestige person equals trusted problem solver, calm authority. Family. Dominance equals guilt, fear, silent treatment, because I said so. Prestige is the steady one everyone consults. Church or community, dominance equals spiritual intimidation. God told me to end debate. Prestige is moral credibility, service, wisdom, consistency. Friends equals controls plans, punishes disagreement. Prestige equals emotionally stable, reliable, respected.
Explain this like I'm 5. Why does mixing them up get people hurt?
Because the rules of dealing with each are different. If you treat a dominance person like a prestige person, you'll try to reason, explain, seek fairness, while they're playing a control game. That can make you look weak and invite more pressure. If you treat a prestige person like dominance, you become defensive and suspicious, and you break trust with someone who would have supported you.
Ooh, okay.
Real-life status has multiple flavors. Formal status, title-based. Relational status, connections and networks. Resource status, money, assets, ability to provide. Information status, gatekeeper power. Moral status, good person power. Charisma status, attention magnet. Threat status, fear-based handling. Competence status, skill authority. Social proof status, popularity or crowd backing. Quick test, tense compliance equals dominance or threat. Relaxed advice seeking equals prestige or competence. Controlling access or info equals gatekeeper or relational. Winning via shame equals moral status. Getting attention without doing much equals charisma or popularity.
Okay, good. Now, how does the ladder actually form? This is where it gets spooky.
Yeah, spooky but true. Groups form hierarchy because uncertainty is stressful. Everybody walks in and their brain is quietly like, okay, who matters here?
So basically, everyone is low-key interviewing everyone. Like, welcome to the Hunger Games.
Exactly. Not even on purpose. People just start watching little things, like who stays calm, who speaks with confidence.
And who talks like they own the building.
Yeah. And who gets listened to, who gets protected, who gets blamed. That's the ladder forming in real time.
Wait, who gets blamed is such a dark signal. Like, if something goes wrong and everyone's eyes turn to one person.
That's the group saying, you're lower on the ladder, even if nobody says it out loud.
OMG. Okay, so even kind groups do this, or only toxic ones?
Even kind groups. The dangerous ones are the groups that pretend the ladder doesn't exist, because then power has no accountability.
Oh, so it's like, we're all family here. Meanwhile, somebody is clearly the emperor.
Exactly.
Okay. Next piece, you said problem solvers rise fast. Explain that without scaring my overachievers.
Okay. Problem solvers reduce stress, so the group starts leaning on them, like, call her, she'll fix it.
Ah, yes, the human help desk.
Yes, but here's the dark twist. If you don't protect yourself, you become indispensable and exploited.
Oops, so you become the unpaid manager.
Exactly. The fixer becomes the unpaid leader. In families, the responsible child becomes the emotional caretaker. In friend groups, the planner becomes the unpaid event manager.
So basically, you're promoted to suffering.
Yep. So the move is be useful, but with boundaries and visibility.
Visibility, meaning people should know you did it, because some people will enjoy your labor like free Wi-Fi.
That's a perfect metaphor.
Okay, resources. This one is obvious, but also messy.
Yeah, whoever controls resources controls outcomes, and outcomes create loyalty.
So like at work, budgets, promotions, assignments, in families, school fees, housing, in churches, donors.
Exactly. Resource power can be healthy support, or it can become manipulation, like if you don't behave, you lose access.
Do you want peace or do you want rent?
That's the dark version, yes.
Now, the sneakiest one, information, because this one is like silent assassin vibes.
Information gatekeepers are scary because the power is invisible. Whoever knows things first shapes perception first.
So if I'm always the last to know, I'm not busy, I'm outside the circle.
Yeah, and if you are inside the circle, discretion becomes your protection because gossip destroys prestige fast.
So basically, if you want status, don't be the office radio station.
Exactly.
Okay, this one is spicy. Who sets what's acceptable?
Yeah, highest status people often decide what's normal, what's funny, what's too much.
So if someone makes a disrespectful joke and everyone laughs, that's the group signing a contract like, we allow this.
Exactly. If disrespect gets laughs, disrespect becomes acceptable. If truth gets punished, silence becomes the rule.
And the darkest signal you said was,
Who can break rules and still be safe?
oof, that's the untouchable person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last part. Titles versus real power, because I've seen this in offices where the org chart lies.
Yeah, titles are official. Influence is real. Sometimes the titled leader is the real leader. Sometimes they're a symbol.
A symbol is crazy, like a decorative manager.
Yeah. Real power might be a long-serving staff member, an assistant who controls calendars, a connector who controls relationships, a donor circle, an elder everyone fears disappointing.
So if you respect only titles, you might accidentally ignore the person who actually holds the keys.
Exactly. And then you wonder why decisions keep mysteriously not going your way.
Okay, now the fast scan. This is the fun part. I'm ready to become Sherlock.
Okay, good. Detective mode on.
Okay, now the fast scan. This is the fun part. Teach me how to read status in 5 minutes without looking like a suspicious police officer.
Okay. First rule, don't perform. Don't walk in trying to impress people like you're auditioning. Just observe like a detective. Quiet, curious, calm. Your goal isn't judgment, it's protection. Because naive people get played, and observant people don't.
So basically, stop trying to be liked for 5 minutes and just watch the movie.
Exactly. Watch the movie, don't star in it immediately.
All right, who speaks first and last? Go.
First speaker sometimes sets the frame, like they're deciding what mood we're in. Serious, playful, tense, we're late, whatever. But the bigger signal is who speaks last, because the last voice often stamps the meaning. Okay, here's what we'll do. What's the room's body language when certain people talk? If tension rises when someone speaks, that can be dominance or threat. If the room gets calmer and clearer, that's often prestige.
So if everyone is laughing, then one person talks and suddenly people sit up like students. Yikes.
Yep, that little everyone straightens up moment is very loud if you know what you're looking for.
Interruptions. This one is messy. People interrupt in my circles like it's a sport.
True. Interruptions alone don't prove anything. Some groups are just energetic. The real signal is what happens after the interruption. Does the room return to the original speaker, like let her finish? Or does the interrupter steal the floor permanently? If someone can cut people off repeatedly and nobody checks them, that's social permission. And permission is power.
So the key is not the interruption, it's the aftermath.
Exactly. The aftermath tells you who the group protects.
Okay, eyes. Who do people look at?
Eyes reveal the judge. When someone makes a point, watch where the room glances. Who do they check before they laugh, agree, or commit? That approval check person is often the real power center, even if they're quiet or not officially in charge. And it's subtle. Sometimes it's just a half-second pause waiting for that person's reaction.
So it's like the room is asking for permission without saying it.
Silent voting. The eyes are the ballots.
Now, the laughter one, because sometimes people laugh because they're actually scared.
Yeah, and you can feel the difference. Laughter is social permission. Genuine laughter often signals charisma or prestige. People feel safe and enjoy the person. Nervous laughter is different. It's tighter, quicker. Please don't attack me next laughter, which often signals dominance or threat. Also, watch who can make slightly rude jokes and still get laughs. That's usually high status, because they can risk a boundary and survive.
Ah, so when the joke is rude and everyone laughs anyway, that's not comedy, that's hierarchy.
Exactly. The laugh is a stamp of approval.
Okay, the big one. Whose suggestions become decisions?
This is the most important metric. Whose ideas turn into action? A high-status person can say something casually, like, we should do X, and suddenly it becomes the plan. A low-status person can say the same thing and it floats away like smoke, until someone important repeats it. And if your ideas only work when someone else says them, it's not the idea being rejected, it's the person being ranked lower.
Oof, that one hurts because it's true.
It hurts, yeah, but it also clears confusion fast.
And last, follow attention, not titles. Say that again for the people in the back.
Titles are the official map, but attention is the real map. Watch where attention goes, who people keep reacting to, who they wait for, who they keep referencing, who can change the mood with one sentence. Power often sits where attention collects. Sometimes it's the manager, sometimes it's the assistant, the senior expert, the connector, the donor, the elder, whoever the room orbits.
So the org chart might say boss, but the room might be like, no, that one.
Exactly. The room tells you the truth if you watch it.
Okay, now give me the 10 reliable signals. Let's make it super practical.
All right. These are the signals that don't lie. Not vibes, not confidence hacks, real-world evidence.
Okay, good. Give it to me. I want the receipts. First one.
Speaking time. Who gets the floor without fighting? Watch who can speak for a long time without being rushed, interrupted, or summarized by someone else. High-status people are given space. They lean in, wait, and let them land their point. Low-status people often talk fast, apologize mid-sentence, or get cut off like their words are background noise.
So if someone speaks like they're paying rent per word, that's a sign they don't feel safe.
Exactly. Safety equals space.
Okay, interruption patterns. Who cuts in and is welcomed?
Interruptions show who can break social rules and still be accepted. The key is whether the interrupter is rewarded. People turn to them, laugh, and follow their point, or whether someone checks them. If the interrupter consistently wins the floor, they have power or protection.
So interruption isn't just rude, it's sometimes a status flex.
And the room's reaction is the scoreboard.
Correction immunity. Who can be wrong safely?
This one is dark. Some people can say something incorrect and nobody corrects them, or people correct them gently, like handling a bomb. That's correction immunity, and it usually comes from dominance, fear, prestige, respect, or alliances, protection. Meanwhile, low-status people make a tiny mistake and it becomes a group hobby.
A group hobby is crazy, but true. Like they correct you with energy.
Yeah, because correction becomes a way to place you lower publicly.
Okay, task assignment. Who gives work versus who receives it?
Watch who assigns tasks and who's expected to accept them without negotiation. The person directing time is signaling authority, like I can move you. If you're always the one receiving work, especially unclear or heavy work, you might be valuable but not powerful.
So you can be important and still be used like a donkey. Oops.
Exactly. Value without leverage becomes exploitation.
Deference cues. Tone changes. Yes, boss energy.
Deference is when people unconsciously shift around someone. Softer tone, quick agreement, extra politeness, nervous laughter, over-explaining. It can be respect-based, healthy, or fear-based, toxic. But either way, it signals status. Watch who people become careful around.
So when someone enters and everyone suddenly acts like they're in an exam hall, that's it.
Yes, deference is the room telling on itself.
6. Proximity. Who sits close to the center?
Where people sit and stand is rarely random. Proximity often shows access and belonging. High-status people comfortably take central space and nobody challenges it. Low-status people drift to the edges, physically and socially. Also, watch who the center person naturally turns toward. Those are the inner circle lanes.
So the seat near power is like VIP seating without a ticket.
Exactly. And some people protect those seats like it's inheritance.
Social protection. Who gets defended when criticized?
Protection is pure status. When someone is criticized, watch who jumps in to defend them, soften the blame, or change the topic. Groups don't always protect the most innocent. They protect the most connected.
Oof. So when people say, that's just how he is, that's protection.
Yes, that sentence is a shield.
18. Credit flow. Who gets praise for wins?
Follow credit like money. Who gets named, applauded, introduced as the reason something worked. High-status people often receive credit even when they did less. Low-status people do the heavy lifting and get a quiet thanks. Credit shapes reputation, and reputation shapes future power.
So if your work is loud but your name is quiet, your status won't rise.
Exactly. Results matter, but visibility decides who owns the results.
Access. Who can reach key people directly?
Access is power in its cleanest form. Who can message the boss and get a quick response? Who can walk in without fear? Who gets invited to the side conversations? Decisions often happen in access spaces, not in public meetings. If you're always outside those channels, you'll always feel behind.
Ah, so the real meeting is sometimes the meeting after the meeting.
Yep, and access decides who gets to attend that one.
All right, last one. Emotional control. Who stays calm while others react?
Calm is power because emotional people become predictable, and predictable people are easy to steer. When tension rises, watch who stays steady, speaks slowly, and doesn't over-explain or panic laugh. The dark part is, high-status people can sometimes show emotion and still be respected, while low-status people get dismissed for the same emotion.
So emotional control is not be cold, it's don't donate your power to the room.
Exactly. Choose your reactions. Don't get pulled like a puppet.
That correction immunity one is still scary.
Yeah, some people can be wrong and nobody touches them. That's power. Dominance, prestige, or alliances.
Okay, so now we know what to watch. Next, what do we do when we realize we're low on the ladder? Okay, now we're entering the danger zone. The status games people play while smiling, like, hi, friend, but also, I'm ranking you.
Yep. These are the quiet moves. And the goal isn't to become paranoid, it's to stop being naive.
Okay, first one, testing behavior. Small disrespect to see what you tolerate.
Testing is tiny disrespect with plausible deniability, just enough to see if you'll swallow it. It can be a little sarcastic jab, interrupting you, ignoring your greeting, calling you a nickname you don't like, or joking at your expense. If you laugh nervously or over-explain, they learn, okay, I can push further.
So it's like a small poke to see if you have bones. Oops.
Exactly. And the best response is calm and simple, not dramatic. Don't speak to me like that. What do you mean by that? Let's keep it respectful. You're not fighting, you're teaching the room your standards.
I love "what do you mean by that?" because it forces them to open the suitcase of nonsense.
Exactly. Make them explain the poison out loud.
Okay, gatekeeping. This one makes people feel crazy.
Yeah, because it's invisible. Gatekeeping is controlling who gets updates, invites, approvals, introductions, or time with decision makers. They might forget to include you, delay your requests, or filter what leaders hear about you. And the scary part is you can blame yourself, like maybe I'm not important, when it's actually someone closing doors quietly.
So it's not that you're slow, it's that someone is holding your email hostage.
Exactly. Defense is strategy. Don't depend on one route. Build multiple channels, relationships, and direct lines so no one person can control your entire flow.
Coalitions, the group chat government.
Yep. Alliance building is when people collect supporters through side conversations, lunches, private calls, and us language. It's not always evil. Healthy leaders do it to execute. But the dark version is alliances built on gossip, insecurity, or fear of someone rising.
That's when you walk in and everybody suddenly becomes silent like you interrupted a courtroom.
Exactly. That conversation stops when you arrive feeling can be a kunu. The defense is simple. Isolation is vulnerability. Connection is protection. You don't have to be political, you just can't be socially alone.
Humiliation jokes, lowering someone in public for fun. Okay, this one, I hate it. Because if you react, you're sensitive, and if you don't react, you're the new punching bag.
That's why it works. It's a double trap. Humiliation jokes are status attacks disguised as comedy. The point isn't humor, the point is ranking. And once the room laughs, the group just got trained that you're the safe target.
So the joke is basically a social memo. We can step on this person. Yikes.
Exactly. Best responses are calm and clean. What's the joke? I don't find that funny. You don't need a speech, just a boundary that breaks the momentum.
Emotional superiority. I'm better than you, without saying it. This one is sneaky because it looks like righteousness.
Yep, emotional superiority is using shame to win. Acting like disagreement means you're a bad person, not just someone with a different view. It sounds like some of us actually care, or as a mature person, or I would never, and it creates a courtroom vibe where they're the judge and everyone else is the accused.
So they don't need facts, they just need shame.
Exactly. Defense is to pull it back to reality. Let's discuss the issue without judging character. Okay, what's the practical solution? You separate values from ego.
Competence flexing, showing skill to gain prestige or to dominate. Okay, so competence flexing. Sometimes it's impressive. Sometimes it's unbearable.
True. Healthy competence is useful and simple. It helps people, clarifies things, solves problems. Unhealthy flexing is loud, comparative, and humiliating. It's correcting people to look smart, using complex language to confuse, or constantly reminding everyone of achievements.
So healthy is let me help. Unhealthy is let me win.
Perfect. Prestige grows when people feel supported, not exposed.
Okay, good. So these are the games. Next question. What do you do when you realize someone is playing these games on you and the room is watching? If you are enjoying this show, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you are learning something out of this, please share with your colleagues. Remember, sharing is caring. Okay, so we've got signals, we've got games. Now give me the characters in the movie, because every group has the same cast, just different outfits.
Yep. These roles show up everywhere. Workplaces, families, church committees, friend groups, even WhatsApp groups. And honestly, the role often matters more than the title.
Okay, good. Hit me. The leader.
The leader decides what matters and what doesn't. Sometimes they have the title, manager, pastor, chairperson, and sometimes they don't, but you'll feel their gravity because people adjust around them. They also set the frame, like, are we serious? Are we relaxed? Are we blaming someone? Are we problem solving?
So the leader can literally change the meaning of the whole room with one sentence like, okay, let's be honest.
Exactly. And when the leader speaks, you often see the room lock in.
The enforcer.
The enforcer is the one who keeps people in line, sometimes with rules, sometimes with vibe pressure. They might shame, intimidate, correct people sharply, or punish wrong behavior socially. The giveaway is when they're present, people self-censor. When they're absent, people relax.
Ah, the fun police. But also like fear police. Oops.
Yeah. In healthy groups, they protect standards fairly. In toxic groups, they protect egos and power.
Okay. The connector.
The connector runs relationships, introductions, and the unofficial channels. They know who likes who trusts who, and they can build coalitions quietly. They're powerful because they decide how your name travels in rooms you're not in, credible or suspicious.
So if you're cool with the connector, your reputation has Wi-Fi. If not, you're on airplane mode.
Exactly. Connectors can build community or weaponize gossip.
The expert.
The expert is the competence anger, the fixer, strategist, technician, wise voice. Even when they're not the boss, people defer to them when things get risky or confusing. They often define what good work looks like and what's realistic or dangerous.
So they're the person everyone suddenly becomes polite to when the system is down.
But the danger is experts can be used heavily and still denied credit or authority.
This one. The wild card.
The wild card shifts the room's mood fast. Humor, drama, conflict, unpredictability. People adjust plans to avoid their chaos or to win their approval because nobody wants an explosion. Sometimes they're fun and charismatic. Sometimes they're volatile and exhausting. But either way, attention follows them.
So the group is basically like, make decisions that won't trigger that one.
Exactly. And when the room is making plans around someone, that person has influence, whether it's healthy or not.
So the role can matter more than the title.
Exactly. Title is what's written. Role is what's happening.
Okay, this is the part where people accidentally ruin their lives. The mistakes.
Yeah. And the painful part is they usually mean well. They're just reading the wrong signals. A lot of people mistake volume for authority. Loudness can be confidence, yes, but it can also be insecurity, attention-seeking, or someone trying to force influence they don't actually have. The real leader is often quieter and only speaks when it matters. Then the room shifts.
So the loud one might be the DJ, not the owner of the club.
Exactly. Noise is not control.
Confusing popularity with influence.
Popularity is being liked. Influence is being obeyed. Some people are fun, charming, and loved, but they don't actually move decisions. Others aren't lovable at all, but they control resources, access, approvals, or reputation, and that's real power.
So applause is not the same as authority.
Applause can disappear overnight. Power usually doesn't.
Okay, thinking titles equal control.
Titles are the official story. Influence is the real story. A person can have the title but no respect, no allies, and no grip on the informal channels, so people work around them.
That's when you're like, wait, why is the assistant running the whole building?
Exactly, because access and information can outrank a title in real life.
Obsessing over body language hacks instead of patterns.
People get lost in eye contact, posture, handshake strength like it's a video game cheat code. But body language can be faked. Patterns are harder to fake. Watch who gets protected, who gets credit, who gets access, whose ideas become decisions. That's the real map.
So it's not who sits like an alpha, it's who gets results while barely trying.
Exactly. Outcomes reveal status more than poses.
This sounds expensive. Challenging status too early and getting punished.
Yeah, it is the most expensive mistake indeed. People enter a new group and immediately correct someone publicly, challenge the wrong person, or try to dominate the room before they have relationships or protection. And the group responds like an immune system. It attacks the perceived threat.
That last one, I've seen people do that and get quiet fired. Like nobody says you're out, but suddenly, meetings don't include you, opportunities vanish, and your name stops being mentioned.
The group's immune system punishes threats faster than it rewards competence, especially in toxic cultures. So the smart move is observe first, build trust, build allies, deliver value. Then choose your moments.
So basically, don't run into a new room doing WWE.
Exactly. Walk in like a strategist, not a wrestler.
Okay, so now you've read the room. You've seen the ladder. Now what? Because this is where people mess up. They either panic, overtalk, or try to act like a movie villain.
Yep. Reading the room is step one. Step two is behaving in a way that protects you and raises your status without creating enemies. Let's do it by situations.
All right, new person, fresh in the room. What's the play?
Goal is to look safe, useful, and self-respecting, not loud. Most people try to prove themselves, and it comes off like insecurity. So instead, you ask smart questions that signal clarity. Use lines like, what does success look like here? Who owns this decision? What risks should we be aware of? Then deliver a small win early, something that reduces stress for others. And don't overshare personal stories until you understand the culture.
So basically, don't come in doing TED Talk introductions.
Exactly. Warm, competent, steady. And keep boundaries simple from day one.
Okay, ignored. The painful one. You speak and it's like your words hit a wall and fall down.
Yeah, and the trap is chasing attention emotionally, over-explaining, talking more, trying harder, people-pleasing. Don't. Speak near decision points where the group must listen. Money, timelines, risks, accountability. Use structure like, 2 options, here's the trade-off. My recommendation is X because risk Y. And if someone repeats your idea, reclaim it calmly without drama. Yes, that's the point I raised earlier. I can draft the next steps.
Ah, that line is clean. It's like, I'm not fighting you, but I'm also not disappearing.
Exactly. Calm reclaiming is high-status behavior.
Okay, this one is tempting. Targeted. Somebody is coming for you, but with a smile.
First rule, don't donate emotional reactions. Reacting big gives them what they want. Proof they can shake you. Keep it short, calm, factual. Use boundaries like, let's keep it professional. Don't speak to me like that. What do you mean by that? Then protect yourself with strategy. Document facts, build allies quietly, avoid private he said, she said traps, and if it's a pattern, move it to process. Written follow-ups, witnesses, policy, neutral escalation if needed.
So it's not go to war, it's make attacks expensive and truth easy.
Perfect. That's exactly the mindset.
Now, rising. You're doing well. People are noticing, and suddenly someone is acting weird.
Yeah. When you rise, envy wakes up. The mistake is flexing, correcting people publicly, talking too much, acting superior. Don't feed envy. Rise without humiliating others. Give credit publicly, correct privately, and let results speak. Also, keep some plans private until they're done, because announcing things too early invites sabotage. Be hard to hate. Consistent, calm, competent, fair.
Hard to hate is such a powerful phrase. Like, try me if you want, but you'll look crazy.
Exactly. Your character becomes your shield.
Okay, sum it up into one simple rule before my brain starts overheating.
Be useful, be calm, build alliances, don't overtalk. Value raises status, calm protects it, relationships stabilize it, and fewer words makes your words heavier.
Okay, now the ethical part. How do we raise status without manipulation? Okay, now the ethical part, because I know somebody right now is like, so do I manipulate people?
No. Ethical status is basically becoming the kind of person a group naturally respects and can't easily push around. It's not mind games. It's character plus competence plus consistency.
That's actually clean, not creepy.
Yeah, let me break it down in a way that doesn't turn anyone into a villain. 1. Deliver value consistently.
Don't rely on one big moment where you wow everyone. Status rises through patterns, people remembering, when things get tough, this person delivers. And not just complaining, bring options. Here are 2 ways we can solve it. Here's the trade-off.
So not I'm smart, but I'm useful.
Exactly. Being useful is the cleanest flex. 2. Control your emotions. React less, respond more. Emotional control makes you harder to steer, harder to bait, harder to frame as difficult. And you can still be warm. Calm doesn't mean cold. It means you're choosing your response instead of donating it to the room.
So no free emotional giveaways, like, sorry, we're out of stock.
Exactly. No discount on your nervous system. 3. Speak with clarity and brevity. High-status speech is usually simple and structured, not long and apologetic. Try this format. Here's the issue. Here are 2 options. Here's my recommendation. It makes people feel you can think under pressure.
And it stops the over-talking spiral where you start explaining your childhood. Oops.
Exactly. Keep it clean. 4. Give credit publicly. Correct privately. This builds loyalty fast. People feel safe with you because they're not afraid you'll embarrass them or steal their work. And the funny thing is, when you consistently give credit, your status often rises even more because you look secure.
So you become powerful and pleasant, which makes enemies look petty.
Exactly. That's strategic kindness. 5. Set boundaries early. Respect grows where standards exist. If you tolerate small disrespect early, you train people to treat you casually. Boundaries don't need anger, just consistency. Let's keep it respectful. I'm not available after 8. Please put that in writing.
So boundaries are not aggression, they're instructions.
Perfect. You're teaching the room how to handle you. 6. Build reputation, reliability, discretion, and results. Reputation is status that travels without you. Reliability means you do what you said you'd do. Discretion means you don't leak, gossip, or expose people, so you're safe to trust. Results means you actually produce outcomes, not just vibes.
So people start saying your name in rooms you're not in, like, call them, they handle it.
Exactly. And that's real status.
Okay, I like this. It's basically become solid, not sneaky.
Yes, solid people become hard to push around.
Okay, roleplay time. I walk into a meeting.
You see the manager talking, but everyone keeps glancing at a senior staff member like, are we allowed to agree? That staff member speaks only twice, but after they speak, the direction shifts. That's real influence. Quiet gravity.
And if someone interrupts everyone and the room goes quiet...
Enforcer or dominance figure. Handle carefully, don't challenge them cold without allies.
Scenario B. Friend group.
One friend always decides the plan. Another friend is funny and popular. The planner has influence. The funny one has attention. If the planner is absent and everyone is suddenly confused, you just found the center.
So the clown brings the energy, but the planner brings the outcome.
Exactly.
Okay, cheat sheet time. Status equals attention, respect, decision power. Watch, interruptions, deference, protection, credit, access. Identify dominance versus prestige. Move, calm, useful, strategic. Avoid ego battles.
Perfect.
Okay, the fun part is here. The famous audience Q&A. And guys, some of these are funny, some are concerning. Wyatt, ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Celine from LA says, I think my workplace has a mean, funny culture. People roast each other. How do I know if it's bonding or humiliation?
Great question. The difference is consent and safety. Bonding humor, people can say stop and it stops. Humiliation humor, when you show discomfort, they call you sensitive or double down. Also, bonding humor goes both directions with warmth. Humiliation humor targets one person repeatedly. If you're the designated target, that's a status placement. Try this line. Calmly say, I'm good with jokes, but not that one. If the room respects it, it's culture. If the room punishes it, it's a control system.
Brian from Las Vegas says, my boss steals credit in meetings. What do I do without looking petty?
Don't fight emotionally. Reclaim credit structurally. Before meetings, send a short written update that shows your work trail. In meetings, when your idea is repeated, say calmly, yes, building on what I proposed earlier, here are the next steps. After meetings, email recap. As discussed, I'll own X. Timeline Y.
You're not arguing, you're creating receipts and visibility.
Jane from Crystal Palace, UK says, I'm new and quiet. People talk over me. Do I need to become loud?
No, you need clean entry and firm continuation. Try, I'm going to finish this point, and keep speaking, slowly, no apology tone. Also, speak early once, just one useful comment, so the room registers your presence. Quiet can be high status if it's grounded.
Peter from Sydney, Australia says, what's the fastest sign someone is the real power holder?
Who people look at for approval and whose suggestions become decisions.
Amina from Kampala, Uganda says, in my family, one uncle controls money and everyone fears him. How do I set boundaries without causing war?
In families with resource dominance, direct confrontation often backfires. Use polite firmness plus alternative routes. Keep requests structured and written. Reduce dependence over time with multiple support paths. If you must push back, do it with calm limits. I understand, but I won't be spoken to that way. And exit the conversation if it becomes abusive. The goal isn't to defeat him, it's to protect your dignity and reduce your vulnerability.
Mike from London says, if I bring snacks to meetings, does my status go up?
Okay, yep, listen, snacks create likability, not necessarily status. But here's the truth. Small contributions can increase goodwill if you're not doing it in a needy way. If you bring snacks like a confident human, fine. If you bring snacks like, please accept me, the room can smell that. So snacks don't equal power, but goodwill helps.
Grace from Montreal, Canada says, I'm always the fixer. Everyone depends on me, but I'm not promoted. What am I missing?
Classic competence trap. You have value, but not leverage. Fix it by doing 3 things. 1. Choose work tied to visible outcomes. 2. Communicate wins briefly and consistently. 3. Set boundaries so your workload doesn't hide you. Say, I can take this, but I'll need priority alignment. What should drop? That forces leadership to see your value as scarce, not infinite.
David from Lagos, Nigeria says, how do I know if I'm being tested?
A test is a small disrespect with plausible deniability. If it happens and the person watches your reaction, especially in public, likely a test. Best response, calm clarification. What do you mean by that? It forces them to own it.
Miriam from Dubai says, what if the connector is a gossip?
Then treat them like a powerful, unstable bridge. Be polite, but don't overshare. Give them neutral, boring information. Build other relationships so your reputation isn't dependent on one person's storytelling.
This is a silly one. Sam says from Chicago. He says, if I speak last in every conversation, will people fear me?
No, please don't become a podcast villain. Speaking last only works if the room grants you that authority. Otherwise, it looks like you're trying too hard. Focus on impact, not positioning tricks.
Okay, final takeaway?
Status is a living system. It moves. It rises and falls based on patterns. What you tolerate, what you deliver, how you respond, who protects you, what doors you can access. And here's the freeing part. You're not stuck with the identity a room gives you. You can reshape it, ethically, through consistent behavior, calm boundaries, visible value, discretion, reliable results, and smart relationships.
So the challenge is, next room you enter, meeting, church event, friend hangout, do the 5-minute scan. Write down who gets the floor, who is protected, who controls access, who sets the tone.
And notice something deeper, how you respond under pressure. Disrespect, praise, attention, silence. That's where growth begins.
All right, this one was heavy, but it's also weirdly freeing because once you can see the ladder, you stop taking everything personally and you stop walking into rooms blind, like, la la la, everyone is nice. If you listened and thought, oh wow, that's my workplace, or that's my family, or that's my church committee, don't panic. Seriously, just start with the 5-minute scan. Observe first, get the map, then move with calm standards, real value, and smart relationships. And let me say this clearly, because I know how the internet can twist things. We're not teaching you to manipulate people. We're teaching you to protect yourself keep your dignity, and build influence the clean way. Now, part 2 is going to get very practical. We're going to talk about how everything we covered today hits the real business outcomes: productivity, team performance, culture, staff turnover, growth, and yes, company profit. Because status isn't just social stuff. It quietly determines how fast decisions happen, how safe people feel to speak up, whether good talent stays, and whether your organization grows or bleeds. So please like, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that notification bell so part 2 lands in your notifications like that very important voicemail you've been waiting for. Wyatt, thank you so much for your wisdom and your time. I feel blessed, like genuinely, and I know the listeners are already fired up for part 2.
Thank you, Maya. This was fun. And yeah, part 2 is where we connect the invisible ladder to visible results. Can't wait.
I'm excited already. For now, bye-bye. See you in the next episode.